This is a molding that we made for the traditions. And we make all of our molding here, our cap molding. This happens to be a molding for the lid section. It's set up for the lid to fit right into it, get the right angles. We can run a piece of this molding, I guess as fast as 10 seconds. Sometimes we'll want to slow it down. The traditions, because it's so flat, is not particularly sensitive to chatter, but the Sylvania collection is. So we might run the moldings a little bit slower than that, but we do it right here. Tim Spurlock is the guy that's in charge of this equipment. In fact, he runs the entire place, but usually this is his baby. Here's some oak behind it. So the basic, the majority of our products right now are oak. White oak, red oak and black oak very often we use together. They're different species but very common. So we would separate all the white oak, red oak, black oak will be used together. We have pin oak from time to time that will yield from fallen trees. This happens to be a nice looking chair with beautiful color in it. I don't mind small knots. I think it gives some character to the lumber. You'll see that there's other imperfections that I actually like. Here's one of the kind of knots I like. Gives it a lot of character. You'll see some coloration from the tree itself, from sap lines and so forth, that I think all make it unique and beautiful. So those are the major products that we make it in. We have some maple, although we haven't been able to yield a lot of it yet. I showed you some. In about 8 seconds we can put an 8-foot panel through that. It will plane it down to the dimension we want, and then rough and then finish sand that panel as it goes through. It's an awesome machine. It does a great job for us, and likely we'll need another one of those. We're taking lumber that Bill and Ray have already escalated, and this is really excess pieces that we're going to use for miscellaneous panels. There's stuff that isn't necessarily for a side panel, for a casket or a top lid. It's stuff that really didn't make it, and it's, you know, we had to cut it down to smaller pieces because of a knot or there's some imperfection in it, but it's perfectly good to use for some lock systems or some rosettes or things like that. So we can generally make a panel and take a panel off inside 2 minutes. I don't know how well I do right off the top of my head. I probably should be able to tell you, but the moldings themselves, most of the time spent in the moldings in the setup. You've got to get all the knives right, you've got to get all your dimensions right. To actually run the material only takes seconds. So, you know, you can run 100 caskets worth in probably an hour.